right, we are on live and direct via the Roundtable Podcast Show here on Facebook Live. What is going on, family?
Hello,
Hey,
hello.
Man, it is amazing. Everybody, all this beautiful melanin up in here.
I know.
Everybody
That's right.
smiling and
That's
just, yes, listening.
Wait a minute. Let me make sure. Okay, I did put my shea
oh,
butter on. I can
Yeah,
do that. I
okay.
can
yeah.
do
Yeah,
that.
you got to make
I
sure
can
that's
Hello.
right.
Yeah. Brother down there, Black Superman. Yeah, what's going on? All right.
Da-da-da.
Hey, the gun show. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Well, we are live here again, y'all, and I would be remiss not to introduce these amazing individuals. Of course, I always got to go over there, the lady of the house, aka Pitbull in the dress, Melissa Bartlett. What's going on, sis?
What's going
Hey,
on, y'all? And I'm actually wearing a
hey.
dress today. Woohoo!
Oh,
Ooh, all right.
Good, good, good. I'm excited to have another week
Mm-hmm.
healthy and no bad news. Anyone that we know of with any type of symptoms of COVID-19, so that's great. And anytime I get a chance to reconnect with my brothers, even though it's through Zoom, it's still great. So I am feeling nice. And then to have a sister in Christ
that's
with
right.
me, a friend, on the show tonight, I'm just like super jazzed. So
Right. Gets no better than that, right, sis?
that's right.
Uh-oh, we in trouble. Well, let me go ahead and get this gentleman in, aka the backup, aka A Money, Adrian
Ain't
Biddle.
money.
Why do we call
Hey,
him A Money, sis?
Cause you can bank
Bank on
on
them.
them.
Yes,
Oh, I love it. I
Right.
love
yes,
it.
yes.
I love it, guys.
y'all gonna make me get a T-shirt now.
I'm telling you, you got to patent that. You got to coin that.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Hey,
indeed.
but it's certainly good to be with you all again, and just saying prayers for colleagues. Me and Carrie got some news today at work, so keeping everybody in prayer that's going through um, certain things. So, um, other than that, I'm good.
That's
Now
good.
moving over to the other part of the team, the man that stirs the drink, Mr. Urban Times himself, Security Disby.
Hey, what's going on? Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're too kind. You're too kind. I get a chance to hang out with some amazing people, some positive people, so it's always a blessing. And tonight is no different. Seems like we've been on the road, family. Everybody
Mhm.
that's come in just keep
Yeah,
dropping some
yeah,
good stuff on us, man.
Good
Mm.
stuff.
yeah.
Good energy.
Good energy, yes,
Yes.
indeed. So let's go ahead and get it started then. Okay, Amen,
Yes, sir.
because we can
Do I
bang
need
on 'em.
to get the drum?
Yes, yeah, yeah. We need to put the drums because you get to introduce this amazing guest tonight.
All right. Well, let me start off with her two monikers, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Germ Buster,
Yeah, that's me.
aka J Boogie.
That's right. That's
Whoa,
right.
not the
Oh,
J Boogie.
what y'all know about
J
that?
Boogie.
Oh
We
man,
do
y'all
our
Hey,
homework. We
didn't
do
throw
our
that in there, did
homework.
you? Ooh.
CEO of Little Germination. We have tonight with us Jolandra Houston.
That's
Welcome.
right. Thank you. Thank
hey,
you. Thank
hey,
you. I
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. All right now. Hey, Money, you did it right. Thank you so much for having me, guys, this evening. You all been rocking it out with this podcast, and it's definitely a great opportunity to join you all tonight and have some great conversation for a great time. Since all what's going on in our world with schools and
Mhm.
the coronavirus, this is just like right on time. And I know Melissa and I, we've been trying to partner up and make sure that this thing, happens so we can spread awareness and just kind of talk about it and be open about it and share, from our perspective, what Little Germinators is all about and what we have to offer.
Mm, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Melissa,
Yes.
Little Germinators.
Yes.
You told us about this right here. The first question was Little Germinators.
I know you're like, what is that?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, 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 yes. So Melissa,
First question. You know, how did the little germinators come about? How and what sparked this seed to grow.
Oh my gosh, we're going back to the growth seed process. And we've been, going for about a couple of years now, about 3 years. But I kind of have like a testimonial story to kind of get to the growth of Little Germinators, because it just didn't happen like that. And you all know, as entrepreneurs, stuff like that doesn't just, sometimes it does, the epiphany moment, sometimes that spark, that light bulb, syndrome hits you. But, it just kind of derived from a situation, from a testimonial situation for me, where I got hurt playing in the staff balcony basketball, because I am a baller. So I balled in college. That's right. On a scholarship.
So did A Money.
Yeah, at Winthrop University. And so, I thought I still had it. I still got it a little bit. But I had a staff faculty game, and we were playing. It was 1 minute before it was over, and my Achilles popped. And so, if you know that type of injury, it is a serious type of injury. And at the moment, I did not know, how serious it was. But it took me out of my role completely when I found out, what it was. Like a role as a mother, a wife, an educator. Like I couldn't go back to teach because I had to have surgery, and then it just took me out of everything, where I literally had to be on pause, on still mode, right? And so I'm a true believer. Like Melissa said, we're Christ, sister Christian sisters first. And I just began to pray. I began to pray about it. And I said, God, I know you have purpose and reason for everything. And I really, truly believe that everything happens for a reason. So I just believed in that, and I continued to pray on that. And I said, God, I know it happened for a reason. 1 minute before the game was over, I just want you to show me my purpose here on earth. All I want to do is just fulfill your purpose while I'm here, and after a while, I started thinking like, well, what can I do? I'm down on one leg, can't do much. I want to do something, that is effective, rather than just let time pass away and then regret having that time and not doing anything with it while I was down. So I kind of just started thinking back to when I got my master's degree in college. And my professor always told me, I'll never forget, she always told me, do something that you love, and you're passionate about. Do your dissertation and your paper in something that's really going to make a difference. Don't just do something just to get a grade and just say, hey, I got my master's degree. And so, me being a passionate one, I really put some thought to it. Again, prayer first. And, I was in class one day, signing daily sheets. And, right before school let out and I'm signing a daily sheet, a little girl sneezed in my face. So, at that moment, because this was an ongoing issue anyway in my class, right? As teachers, we teach these skills, but we don't really hone in on a daily basis and really take it serious to teach these children about hygiene, health-based practices. So I call that moment my epiphany moment, as I was like wiping cold out of my eye, like, oh my God, that's it, And so I began my research in that area of, why it is important to teach children at an early intervention perspective early on to have greater outcomes in the area of hand hygiene and other health-based practices. And one research, article led to another, and then I just began, to write this program. I piloted a program and saw great impact and effects from it. And so going back to my time of being hurt, it was just like a light bulb syndrome. Was like, God was like, you need to go back to this. This is an issue, an ongoing thing that maybe you can create something to help teach children proper hand hygiene skills and other health-based practices. So I began to write and read articles, and everything just started coming together. And then all of a sudden I'm like, well, what am I going to call this? I was writing down names after names, and I was like, they're little, and I was looking at germinate and all this other stuff, and then it just started coming together, because germinate, as we all know, means to what, right? Germinate means to grow. And when I saw that and researched that, I was like, that's it, because what I'm doing is teaching them, I'm growing them, bringing their awareness, about being germ conscious. And I was like, oh, little and germinators, oh, that's it. So it just came together. And, you know, I started doing the logo, reaching out to people to see if they could draw up like a certain germ. And some people got denied because I wanted a germ that was friendly, right? I wanted a germ that was not scary to kids when they saw it, something that would bring their awareness. And some drawings that I got, they were literally like, oh my God, if a child saw that, it would, you know, scare them, it would freak them out. So, you know, when I instantly saw this one particular drawing, I was like, oh my God, it looked like a child drew it. It looked like a child put this together. And so as an educator, kids recognize kid things, right? Kids recognize kids and doing things. And so that's one of our big mottos too at Little Germinators: for kids, by kids. We want to make it kid friendly. And just being in the education field, that's what gravitates their awareness. So to say the least, one thing just kind of snowballed after another, and then it just kind of came together just so beautifully. And I just allowed God to work and master and knead that thing together, and just be in constant prayer about what's next. And here I am now with my first book already published. And the thing with that is I wrote that book during that process too. You know, a lot of people may not believe me when I say it, but I just felt like God was giving me the words when I was writing, right? During my moment of stillness. Like there would be times I would be up at 3 or 4 o'clock, couldn't sleep. And I literally was writing, and it felt like somebody was there with me putting those words on that paper, right? And so it came together. And then the people in the process, that was magic too. As we all know, our connections, our network system, sometimes our relationships happen so divinely, right? Where you're like, wait a minute, you know this person, and you're, you know, coming to find out, I met somebody at an event, and she asked to sit down. I said yes. We started talking. Coming to find out, her daughter was an illustrator, never illustrated a book. I saw one picture, and I said, that's it. I need to talk to her. And that is how it all came together.
Wow.
So it's really powerful. Really, really powerful.
Well, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And so that's a wonderful story and inspiration on the people who may be, you know, scared because they just don't know how. Sometimes you don't need to know, you just need to move. So
yeah, and I think that's the big part of it, right? Because I've always said that if you do have a dream, or if there's something that you want to do, your dream goes as far as you allow it, right? If you want your dream to go across the street, right, or to the sidewalk and back, that's as far as it's going to go, right? The thing is, God gives us what we desire, but the thing is, we have to put action behind it with a physical body, right? Of moving that thing, of thinking that thing out. And the thing is, if you don't give him any movement or any action, it's very hard for him to work with something that you're not putting in action, right? So, like I said, if you have a vision, if you have a dream, it can take you to the moon and back if you want it to go there. It's all up, you know, to you.
So speaking of the book, what's your age range? What's your demographic that you feel that the book is actually targeting?
Oh my gosh, I know some people ask me that all the time. Germy's lesson on germs. It was mainly, our program is mainly for like the pre-K through second and third grade. But to be honest with you, books such as this, it can even go further than that. This book, it talks about chemistry, biology. It talks about STEM. It has, you know, the hand washing steps inside. It has so much in it. This book was a process of like a 2-year process. Sometimes it doesn't take that people that long to compose a book, but it was like nightly going back and forth, you know, making sure the hands were right. And that doesn't make sense. We got to rewind that. Like every intricate step had to make sense, right? Every color had to make sense. And I was really, really adamant about the color, the skin color in here too as well. This is a very diverse book. You see that it does have, you know, darker hands on the front, but also too, we have other different races. You know, this, just because you see the darker hands in front, it could be African American, Hispanic, it could be, you know, Afro, Latino, it could be anything. And so one key piece about this book is I wanted kids of color, of diversity, to see themselves in a book such as mine too. It has, you know, a Black, you know, African American doctor, where sometimes, you know, kids, even of the Caucasian descent, even African American, don't even see that a lot of times. So to see that and to really see, and hope and say, hey, one day I can be a doctor. And even for the little girls out there saying, hopefully one day I can be an author like Miss Germbuster, like Miss Houston. So, and it has all different races, and that's what it's all about, diversity, bringing not only awareness, not only knowledge into the home, but also to bringing that diversity piece and bridging the gap.
Man, that's
Awesome.
wonderful right there. I like that. I like that. Shouts out to Mahogany Tabidi. Thank you for joining us on At the Round Table. Looks like Jeremiah Holt, Angie Fisher Moore, Latosha Carson, Terry Digsby. Thank you all for joining us on At the Round Table. We are sitting with Jolandra Houston and AKA Miss Germbusters. Y'all
Or
hold
you can say DKA. I'm a Delta, so AKA.
I
love AKA sisters out there.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
But I like DKA.
DKA, the Crimson has come in.
The Crimson.
It's just something about when people say AKA Jolandra, Miss Germbuster. I'm like, oh my gosh,
No.
But then people get on me, my AKA friends get on me because they're like, what's your colors? What's your colors? I'm like, oh God, what other color choice did I have?
Well, the Delta known as
The
Germbuster has joined us this evening.
Yes.
That is a good one. Yeah. Family, thank y'all for joining us on At the Round Table. Ask any questions you want in regards to this. This is a very informative show because we're talking about germs. And with everything going on right now, COVID and such, as well as our young people needing to understand, we have the professional right here that's going to help us bridge that gap and communicate with them. So, hey, Money.
Yes.
See you thinking, man. Go ahead.
So, your program, I think it's called Little GERMinators.
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It's a program to provide fun and informative ways for kids to practice good hygiene.
Yeah, proper hand washing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in the program, what is it? Can you share with us what you would say that gets the kids excited to want to participate in the program? Because I think that it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. First and foremost, me, right? If you're not excited and you're not, happy about what you do, the kids are not going to feel that energy. It's the same type of energy that I feel in my class. If you ask any one of my parents, guarantee, they say, Miss Houston is on another level. My assistants that I work with, they say, you know what? I don't see how you do it. You come in every day off the wall, jumping and dancing. But the thing is, you have to be like that. And I really found that I had it's a special different, I would like to say, gift or a knack for kids. When, some of the worst days I could be feeling, I go into the classroom and it's turned around instantly because of the energy that they bring, right? It's the love that they bring and the innocence that they bring, right? Because the thing is, no matter what you're going through, they didn't really have nothing to do with it. And to be honest with you, they need that. They need that love. They need that excitement and that energy. Some parents are like, on Saturday, they're like, oh, they want to go to your class on Saturday. But, to say the least, me first and foremost, bringing the energy and the excitement and the awareness. My program, it's different, right? It's 21st century, awareness. And we're bringing in the song, the dance, we're bringing in the book, and we're just making the connections with children. One key thing about designing the program, for children is that as an educator, you have to make things connect, right? It makes sense. You can't, do a book about something totally different. You got to make those connections. Even when it comes to our CDC regulation posters that we kind of re-innovated to match the book, making those connections with the book resource, making those connections with the stuffed animal and the dance and the song and the hand movements, which that's what children learn off of. Something about music and dance, right? An ear and the auditory listening can actually, it goes straight to the brain, right? That's the reason why we can hear songs can replay in our head that we haven't heard, in a while, or even, when we haven't heard them in a while and you play a song, we instantly can pick up those lyrics, right? That's just how the brain works. Even if a child has special needs, right? Their brain automatically picks up that song, that rhyme, that rhythm. And so, programs such as mine are not new, right? I did my research on other programs that, have done something similar. But the reason why I say mine is different is because, like I said before, myself, the 21st century that's back behind it, the diversity that we're bringing behind it, and just all the things that are coming together that make sense for children that they can use on a daily basis, that they see on a daily basis to help create that behavior change. And like I said, a lot of people, they probably created a program like this, but it's up to you to make it go as far as you want, right? And so I'm here. Miss Germ Buster's going to try to make this program go as far as I can. So, ultimately we can help change the behavior for our youth. And that's part of my why, where I really prayed about that too. I'm like, why me, or why do I really want to do this? Why on, some days that I have a class, I'm like maybe down, but then you really got to create a why. Why are you doing this? Some days we're tired, we're sleepy. Sometimes we might not feel like getting on a podcast sometimes, but we really have to create a why for ourselves. Why are we doing this? And my why is because I truly could be saving a child's life. And if I save one child's life, to me, it's way worth of me, doing all this hard work, putting in all this excitement and energy. So, and ultimately, that's what it's all about. It's about, saving children's lives.
Well, I can contest that her energy is definitely genuine. The first time I met Jolandra, her and her husband, I mean, we were like, first of all, we were amazed because she's an athlete. And I think you had just had your youngest son at that time. And she's like, I just had a baby like 8 months ago. We were like, what? Are you serious? And we thought you were still in college. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, right.
And she was just a sweet, energetic, positive. I mean, it just filled the room and it just infected all of us. Like, okay, we were around them, we were talking to them. And so I can imagine the kids, their reception to you, because you bring that out of everyone when you're around them. So you talked about the program and saving lives.
Mm-hmm.
How now, being in the pandemic, how do you feel that your program has impacted? Like, have you seen such a either reward from pre-pandemic or now even more attention because of the pandemic?
Right. I would say there's a little bit more attention, but also too, I believe that there's a little bit more respect, right, for what I have been doing prior to the pandemic, because we've been doing this for like year to 2 years, going out and talking about germ conscious skills and hand washing and other health, hygiene behaviors. We've been doing this for a while. And so the thing is, I speak in one of my videos about being proactive versus reactive. So a lot of our mind frames are in a reactive mindset, right? And it's still not too late to be proactive, especially now, to prevent, getting COVID-19 and being knowledgeable about those hand hygiene skills. But, I do believe it is created more attention, but also to a profound, respect of what, we do, with Little Germinators. And so I just, right now, I think it's even more important to prep these children, right? More now than ever, especially since they're home, while we can, before they go out into this new norm environment, so they can be prepared. Like I said, as educators, we scratch the surface a little bit about hand hygiene skills and other health-based practices, but programs such as mine, we want to dive deeper. And so now we are almost on the final stage of finalizing our curriculum, where we can, go out and really make a consistent difference, not just through one intervention with me zooming in or me going to a school, but how can we embed this where we're truly making a change for children, where they're actually changing their behavior at an early stage, right? Because the thing is, that early stage can lead to greater outcomes as they go throughout their school career path. And
you
then
were
also
on.
too, I'm sorry. Also
I'm
too,
sorry.
we're also seeing a change in the home just by piloting some of the program and piloting some of the things that we do within the classroom. We actually are seeing a transfer at home. where parents are saying, you know, what is this Journey song? And my kid is wanting to wash their hands. And, you know, that's the ultimate goal, right? It takes a village. It takes all of us, including yourself, to get the awareness out there. It takes parents and doctors. It takes grandparents, all of us to be on board to help change their behavior. Like I said, one intervention, it has shown and proven, you know, results. But the thing is, consistency leads to sustainability. And that's where, you know, we want that to happen.
Okay. And I was just going to bring up that you were on the news last month. They did a feature spot on you.
Yes.
What was that about, and what was it around at that time?
The topic was more so pertaining mask, right? Children wearing masks within schools. And at that current time, they were saying that elementary school did not have to wear masks. And so that interview was kind of focused on that. It was focused on kind of what Little Germinators do. And we also talked about the topic of kind of what I'm doing now, which are virtual classes online to help prep children to become more aware about this new norm school environment. Because when students did leave in March, they left where things were normal. So the thing is, when they go back to the school system in August, it's going to be totally different. And, you know, from an educator, mom perspective, Miss Buster's perspective, I feel that it is very unfair to the children that all of us know what's happening in this world, right? But they're not prepared, right? So my biggest thing as, you know, the founder of Little Germinators is how can we mainstream these children back into this new norm society, right? Because when they go and they see these temperature checks and somebody's zooming them at their head, you know, can create anxiety for kids, you know. And in my field, at the early intervention, my heart goes out. My heart goes out because a lot of those kids on their first day, that's their first time in a school environment, as well as kindergartners and other people going to new schools. That's already enough anxiety for them. So when they go and see all of these different measures that have changed, sometimes kids just literally break down. And for me as an educator to say, you know what, I can't console you because I have everybody's wearing a mask. I can't touch them. I can't hug them. That does something, and that they have to be prepared for that when they go into a school environment and teachers can't console them and nurture them. That is an issue for me because I'm a nurturer at heart. So that is going to be one of the most difficult things for me, to see a child cry and say, you know what, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. You'll get through it. How do you tell a 5-year-old that, or a 6-year-old?
Wow. Wow.
That's true. That is very true. Hey, shouts out to Patina Bryson. Thank you for joining us on At the Round Table. She's been watching intently. She said, very nice, very nice. She said the energy. She emphasized on your energy.
Thank you.
Latosha Carson said, congratulations on the book.
Yes, thank you so much.
And then Patina just asked, how can she purchase the book?
Okay, awesome.
We're coming to that, Patina. Stay on through the end. Stay on through the end.
See that energy is infectious. It's already got to them, and they ready to jump on.
Thank you. That's what it's all about. You know, that's what it's all about. Making a difference.
Jolandra, that was one of my next questions as well. Like, you kind of went right into it. Being an educator, you deal with our preschool, preparing them for kindergarten. You also deal with special needs children.
Yeah.
And then we just had the town hall in regards to what CMS is going to do,
right?
Or what they think they're going to do. As an educator, being especially with our babies, but just overall, what and how do you see, if you've had the opportunity to speak to some other educators in different grade levels, what does this look like for you guys, and what are some of your concerns, if you're able to speak freely to those?
Well, I have a lot of concerns because, y'all, I'm not only an educator, I'm a mom and I'm a wife, right? So the thing is, you know, being in the education system where they have created these, you know, restrictions and this new norm, I'm a little bit concerned, which is why I still stand strong on my belief that I don't know if we're quite ready to go into the school systems quite yet, because there's so many things to consider, right? so many things to consider health-wise. I mean, and to open it up with all of these non-solid lockdown planned and all these considerations that you need to consider by August, I just believe is too fast. So from an educator standpoint, I'm a little bit kind of concerned. From a mom standpoint, I'm concerned for my children who I have a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old. So I'm concerned about them. My 6-year-old, I'm gonna tell you now, is not gonna feel comfortable wearing a mask all day. I mean, that's just not, let's be realistic. Right. That's not realistic for children around that age to keep a mask on, and even older ones. You know, it's going to be difficult. And that goes back to not being prepared. How in the world are you going to tell a second or third grader that you have to wear a mask all day now, and you have to play with the mask, and you have to talk with the mask in class? That's difficult. You can't go eat in the cafeteria now. You have to eat in your classroom. And so that's the thing. That's my biggest point, is how are we preparing everybody to mainstream? Right. And if we don't have all the measures in place, if we don't have all the criteria in place, right, then why are schools being opened up? And not only that, we are putting people's lives at risk. I mean, if you really, you know, to not sugarcoat anything, we don't know. It's a what if, right? And so I saw a post the other day that said, you know, schools closed with a little bit of snow on the ground, right? And so not only that, if we close schools in March, then what makes, and the statistics have went up, what makes you think that we're ready to go back into school system in August? So the preparation is key. We all know about preparation, right? When we fail to plan, things happen. Right. And so that is my biggest concern. It's going to take a lot of prayer. We don't know what ultimately is going to happen at the end. But all we can do right now is pray. And all I can do is just pray on my behalf, because to be honest with you, the coronavirus has taken a lot of people out in 2020 unexpectedly. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
it
indeed.
is. So talking about your character over there, the dog that you had over now
I kind of put my tongue out sometimes like him too, so sorry.
No, you're fine. So now I got a special request.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
I heard
this is serious.
Song. I heard there's a song out there that teaches kids how to wash their hands.
Oh yeah.
Would you care to share it with us or perform it for us right now?
Oh, really? You want me to do that? No problem. This is what I do. Do y'all want to make me the host, and then I can play it?
Go right ahead.
Hey,
okay.
Sure.
Because I have it up. Let me see. And that way everyone can hear it too. Because I'm gonna tell you, it's catchy. Now, if you catch yourself doing it at home, it's not my fault. Okay.
All right.
Just show you the moves, you know.
All right, Dina Renee, thank you for joining us. I want you to go get your daughter right now and get this ready and listen to this.
Everybody, go get your kids.
Yeah, go get your kids. Dina, go get your daughter.
Somebody go watch them, get them now so they can see this.
That's right. And you know what? That's what it's all about. It's a family thing. It's not just a kid thing. It's a family thing. Like I told you before, we're all in this together, right? That's the concept. So, and it's true. If we want change to happen, we have to be all in this together. We have to be supportive. Let me see. I don't know if I can share my screen. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. I don't know if y'all can hear it unless I share my screen, right?
I don't know. Might be able to. Crank them speakers up. I'm ready to get crunk now with this drumming song. Come on.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey. All right. Let me see. Let's see. I have it on here. I don't know if y'all able to hear it. Let's see if I can get it up to the highest possibility.
Audrey Lee Hatcher, thank you for joining us. She's following us right now. She heard the song coming on. She getting ready.
Oh.
Come on.
Well, get ready, get ready. Like TD Jake says, get ready, get ready, get ready. Oh gosh, let me see. If I can't play it, I'm gonna because I'm trying to play it on my end, but I don't know. It was playing before. You know how these technology things work, guys.
Oh yeah.
So let me put the Journey song on. Let's see if I can find it. If not, I'll play it on my phone real quick. Y'all stay with us, please, because I'm going to tell you, you're not going to be disappointed at all when it comes to this song. This is a game changer for kids, by kids. It's a family song where I can see y'all bouncing to it in your car too as well.
All right, don't have DJ Khaled telling you and another one.
And
Okay?
I'm telling you, and you know what? To be honest with you, we're working on our next hit, right? So I'm working with a producer now where we're coming out with another one. So yeah, let me see. It's for some reason it's not playing, guys. So let me play it on my phone and see if you all can hear it just as well.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that.
Yeah, you did. You put it on the spot.
Just
Man.
I thought
just
you,
a little bit.
she was gonna. I thought you were gonna do a acapella.
Acapella, yeah.
No,
that
we
would have
gotta
been
put a little beat. We gotta put a little bit. Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that?
Yeah, I think that'll work.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
Is it? Y'all heard it just a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me go to my screen to make sure I'm looking at myself. All right. You make me sick and you cannot stay. Oh, first I need some water, now I need some soap. I scrub my hands clean, are there any germs? No. Are y'all gonna rock with me? Come on, y'all gotta rock with me. Come on. Germy. Come on, guys.
Come on, hey, money.
Come on now. There we go. Let me see you rock your shoulders. Y'all can rock your shoulders. Sit down. I see you. Oh, I see
You got me wanting to get up.
I know, right?
I see you. It go like this. Here we go.
Germy, yo, you make me sick and you cannot stay. First I need some water, now I need some soap. Scrub my hands clean, I really can't stop. Germy, yo, you make me sick and you cannot stay. First I need some water, now I need some soap. Scrub my hands clean, I really can't stop.
Hey, and it keeps going.
And another one.
Thank you.
And another one.
And another one. Y'all better get ready for the next one to come out. 'Cause that's another one too.
The remix.
The
I
remix.
love it. Love it. And family, you can Google Jolandra, but you can go on YouTube as well. She actually had a competition, a little contest, with different kids doing the song and the dance.
It was amazing.
It was so much fun to watch the different kids do it, and then some parents jumped in, which was hilarious. To just be part of the contest, it was so much fun, so much energy, as you guys can see, and you just feel it. So that was great. So with doing things like that, like the contest, and how do you feel? Is that one of the key things now, especially with us being in this new norm, when you come up with more things virtually where people can engage with their children and the children engage with the program?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's, like I said, the time is now, right?
Right.
Whereas before we created the curriculum to go into the classroom, which is still up and coming, but we want to make it virtually as much as possible, just because that's where, our world is. We're in the 21st century now, not getting ready to go into it, but we are in it now. So the thing is, kids are, techno savvy, teachers are. And so that's where we're trying to push the envelope with our curriculum now that's about to come out. As much technology as possible with it. And like I said, encouraging those skills on a consistent basis, because consistency leads to that sustainability. Anything we do long enough, it will become us. Just like working out, we'll start to see change. Drinking water, we start to see change in our skin. I mean, anything that we do long enough, it will become us. It will have better outcomes. And that is the difference that we're trying to make for children at an early age, so they have greater outcomes. Because ultimately, they need to know that what I do and when I change my behavior habits can ultimately not only keep me healthy and strong, but it also too can help save my life.
That's what's up. Hey, shout out to Kanya Parker. She just joined us on At the Round Table. We appreciate you, Kanya.
Hey, Kanya.
Kanya had two beautiful daughters at the house. I'm sure she was doing the journey as well.
Yay!
Hey, Charlie 2 said, do some more. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Man, they're loving it. This is wonderful right here.
this is awesome. I'm telling you, y'all, that's what it's all about. It's about having fun because I'm a true believer as an educator. When kids are having fun, they learn. It's just like us. Who wants to sit there and watch a womp womp lesson? Or, who wants to listen to a teacher like that? The more that they're engaged, the more that you're excited about that energy feeds off of that. I mean, feeds off from you to them. And research even says that, right? That energy passes. So the thing is, I'm bringing that positive energy because, ultimately I'm trying to make a change. I'm trying to make a difference for children out here because they're going home, they're telling their mom and they're telling their brothers and sisters, and that is creating a continual cycle of knowledge. And that is what we want.
So you said there's another hit. So does that
Yes,
mean there's another book?
I can't release that right now.
Okay. So is there another
Man.
book coming? Is there another book? Is there another
Yes,
book?
there is another book. We are trying to make Jermy's Lesson on Germs a series, right? So the thing is, we want to talk about how Jermy goes into different environments and learns more about himself and where he could be. And giving more children awareness about the world and the environment that they're around. So yes, look forward to that. I'm in prayer about that too. And once it comes, I'll be with a pen and paper writing it down. So be in prayer with me. Those that are tuning in, be in prayer with me. Those that are followers and you all in the podcast, be in prayer with me because it's not about Miss Germ Buster. It's about the youth. It's about saving them and making a difference for them.
Okay. So I have a question because I have a request. No.
Another one.
I don't have a question. I have a request. I need to buy the book.
Okay.
Well, actually, I need a couple because I want to gift them to all of my little cousins, and I have a nephew now. So shout out to Langston L Boogie.
Mm-hmm.
Have you sign them if you don't mind?
I would love. Oh, I would be.
And
honored.
I would be gracious to do that. So we'll get out the air with that order. However, we do have some family that's viewing now that want to know how they can order the book. So
Yes. Well, guys, if you are interested in changing the game in your children's libraries, even in your school libraries, I would love for you to go to LilGerminators.org, okay, to order the book. If not, go to Amazon. It's on Amazon. Please change the game of your children classroom as well as at-home libraries. This particular source is research behind that too. These particular books are just not embedded at home nor within the school system. This is speaking from an educator standpoint. I have every book in my classroom from A to Z, and I can count on one hand how many germ books, and that is not a lot, maybe one. And so we need to change the game on that. How in the world do we expect change in this world when we're not giving them the resources that they need to create that change? Even if you're in the school system or know people in the school system, principals, please encourage them to order these books for their classroom. It not only is a resource, but we have the song in the back. We have a pledge in the back where they are pledging to be the best germinators that they could be. On the back, you have the QR code, which leads you to the website where you can hear the songs and all different things that we have done. So this is a handy resource with a lot of packed information, not just any ordinary book. So Amazon.com and LilGerminators.org.
all right. I like it. Go ahead, Carrie.
You
I can ask my question now.
Yes.
I can ask my question.
Yes.
Miss Houston.
Sounded like one of them kids. Yes.
So, with everything that's going on in regards to Little Germinators, you being Miss Germbuster, I have to stir it.
Okay.
How has your family embraced this particular journey for you? I mean, from not only your kids, but your husband as well. Share with us their thoughts on it.
As far as partaking this whole Little Germinator journey and how they're kind of dealing with it.
Yes.
Well, actually, they're a big part of how it's created and the sustainability of the company. They're great supporters. And one thing, as the founder, of the company, I want to include my family as well as my sons as much as possible. So in the videos, in the song, if you heard the little boy's voice on the song, that's my son's voice. We were sitting in the car going over the track over and over again. You got to go like this and go, take it to a higher note. There you go. You got it. So, and they love it. This is not forced from me. This is something that they want to do because they know that this could be saving their friend's life, their life, as well as his brother's life. So they know the message, they know the passion behind it. My husband, he does great, stepping up when I have to do classes or anything of that nature. He supports me. He's listening to the songs and lets me know yay, nay, different things in the book or, different programs that I have to do. I run it by them. And so, as a family, we want to include them. We want them to be a part of what we create, because when we don't do that, that's when we start seeing a little bit of separation, right? A little bit of breakdown. So we want to include them as much as possible. A mentor told me that is to develop your family plan, right? Develop your family plan, work on Little Germinators. Yeah, I love it. But also too, Miss Germbuster likes to take a break too. So I have to be very conscientious about taking breaks and balancing Little Germinators versus who Jolandra Houston is, right? So I'm very conscientious about that. I'm not perfect, right? Not at all, by no means, but we're working on it. So, and I hope to get better at it.
That's wonderful, and it's good to hear that your family has embraced this, and it's not just something that you came up with, but you actually live it, and the family embraces it, and they live it as well. And I got one more. Have you ever gone and you're at the restaurant and such, and it's you and your husband, and all of a sudden the song just comes in your mind, and all of a sudden you're both sitting there and just and then like, oh, and then the people over here are watching, and they're like,
right.
Yeah.
Well, it hasn't gotten that deep, because when I do take a break, we break, right?
Okay.
But the thing is, I'm hoping to change the game in restaurants where, when we go into restaurants, we're seeing the Jeremy poster with the pictures from the book, once again, tying it all together. Mommy, I got that book. Look at Jeremy. I'm telling you, just that phrase, Jeremy has changed the game for a lot of kids. In my class, I could easily go, that's Jeremy. Then they go, I need to go wash my hands, Yeah. So, but the thing is, I'm hoping to change the game on that, because, I'm sorry, that I phrased you, but your regular posters that you see in the restaurants are black and white. They're not fun. They're not captivating to kids. And also too, I want to change the game on soap, because a lot of these restaurants are using cheap soap. So how do you expect for hand washing to be going on when you're creating soap that runs off their hand like water?
That's true.
Right? They get excited about making magic bubble gloves. So we as a restaurant, community, as a food industry, have to change the game on that too. We want people back in our restaurants, but we don't want to deal with coronavirus. But you don't want to use quality soap or paper towels or different things of that nature to fight the cause of coronavirus, right? It goes hand in hand. And restaurants, we gotta step up to the plate and make quality material for people to wash their hands and make sure that their hands are clean before they eat, because it's helping them ultimately. It's helping their economy and their business.
Yeah. I got a quick question on the side, part B to what Carrie asked. How do you view the world now with you having such an awareness about germs? Do you find yourself where you're like, oh my God, no.
Right.
Because now it's a part of you, like you said, it's a part of your practice, your behavior, right. So it's who you are. So how do you view restaurant, grocery stores, getting in and out of just any type of public place outside of your home?
Well, let me say this. Miss Germbuster is not perfect, but I'm gonna tell you, my awareness is turned all the way up. But I am not perfect. So the thing is, I don't want to be that Hillman College. I think they caught somebody with ribs in their mouth or something. That picture where they caught somebody. Y'all remember that episode or something? Was it Mark? It was Martin or somebody. But I just want to say that my awareness is up. I am very aware about certain things, doorknobs, different things of that nature. And I think it does have something to do. It is articulated back to what I do. And even my children, right? They can't help but to think in a different mind frame. But that's what we kind of want to happen. We want their awareness to be a little bit more high. We want their behaviors to be changed. Ultimately, are they perfect? No, but I'm gonna tell you something. Their behaviors have changed, and ultimately, that might be the reason for the program. It might be so my children can live and survive. Who knows, right? Of how it blossomed and why it blossomed. But I don't see things and go, well, sometimes I do. I'm not gonna lie. Let me tell you about an incident real quick. I know we have to get ready to go, but I got some meat cut. I'm not gonna say the store because I don't want to bash them, but I got some meat.
Say it.
How about me stirring? Look at this, man.
No, I know. Ain't money. That's Carrie's job.
But I got some meat cut from this place, and the lady, she didn't have the proper meat that I wanted, so she went in the back, but she had her gloves on, right? I appreciate that fact. But on her way to get the meat, she touched the doorknob, and then the meat was just from another package was dripping all on it. That's what it was. The package, the meat that I wanted was not the meat I want. And the package that she had at the time had dripped on her gloves. Then she put the meat back, then went to the deep freezer part where they keep the meat, touched the doorknob, then came back. And I was just like, ma'am, I was like, I am so sorry. You're going to think I'm crazy. I just want to let you know I cannot do it. I cannot. The meat juice was on your hand. You touched the doorknob, then you grab my new meat, and then you're about to cut my meat that I'm about to take home. I said, that's just how germs are transmitted. And then I would take that meat to my family, and then they would eat it. And you know what? To be honest with you, she was so nice. She was like, you know what? You're right. You're right. I should have took the gloves off, washed my hand. She realized that in that moment. But sometimes we get busy. We don't realize things. That's the reason why I say we're all not perfect. But we have to create that awareness, right? So we can be aware about those things when times like that happen, like to cut down the transmission of the spread of germs.
Well, do me a favor. Do me a favor when you have an opportunity. Just another thing to put on the back burner.
Okay.
I need a Germy's Germy adult edition to be published.
Thank you.
You're right. You're right.
Yes.
That is
before they go back to the offices, honey. Can we address the bathrooms and the break rooms? Thank you.
That's right. Yeah. You are so right. You are so right. So much needs to change in our world. And I believe that all of our awareness is up, right? Because of COVID-19. It seems like when COVID-19 hit and it started running, everybody had their radar on. Boom! And I'm just like, where was this radar before? So people are talking about hand washing. You're seeing all these hand washing videos come out. And I'm just like, I wish that we were in a proactive mindset before this happened, right? But sometimes things have to happen in order to change our behavior, right? We all can say that.
Well, I think that the fact that you were doing it prior gives you the longevity and gives us the assurance of what you say, because you saw this prior to it happening. And my husband and I are always watching, commercials and different, things where we'll go out and we'll see the signs and we're like, well, what were you doing before? If this is like, what were you doing before? Like, you're making this announcement. Now we're doing contactless this. Well, if it was contactless, what were you doing before? Like, what happened?
Rubbing elbows in the t-shirt and everything.
Making sure that pepperoni was on there.
And that's my biggest thing is I really hope and pray that this is a change for the better, and that when things, or if things go back to quote unquote familiar and normal, that we don't fall back on these habits, right? Because then it'll be something else that we have to do and confront with. So, that my biggest prayer is that keeping that mindset where we were during COVID, right, 19, and keeping it after, because I truly believe that we are going to come out of this eventually, right? But we just need to keep that same mind frame, and that is what I am definitely fighting for. We don't have anything in the school system right now, so I'm willing to talk to whoever it is to see if we can make that change. because it does affect our school system. It affects absenteeism. It affects budget rates. It affects all of that. I mean, if you really want to dig, deeper into it.
Or family, if you guys have networks with other educators, administrators, school board members, things like that, make sure that you're sharing this video with them. And Jolandra, give us your contact information, please.
Yes, I can be reached at littlegerminators@gmail.com. Do not forget our website, littlegerminators.org, where you can get the book. You can kind of see what we're doing within the community, what is up and coming. Right now, we have our virtual preparatory class that you can sign your children up for to prep and ease the anxiety of them going back into this new norm school environment. So please check it out. Sign up for a course. 1 hour course that entails 4 lessons all in one, and it will include the German dance with Miss Germbuster. So please make sure you check out those resources. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Little Germinators.
And just to let you know, shouts out to Derek Glenn for joining us on At the Round Table, Angie Fisher Moore, and Kanya said, just ordered my book for my sister's kindergarten class.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And that is how you start the transitional continual knowledge, okay, for your children. Getting the resources in so they can change and bring their awareness. You change their library. You're adding a great source to their library that is going to impact them so much, and they're going to love it. Thank you for your support. Thank you for doing that.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And then just to let y'all know, this show will be playing again later on, but I'm putting a post in there right now, the YouTube video of the Little Germinators dance. So you guys can learn it.
Yes, please. And it's my children doing the dance too. But I am doing it on Instagram too. So check me out. This is no joke. Check me out on Instagram.
That's what's up. Well, family, we need to get ready to close it out. Y'all got any closing words for Miss Houston, aka Miss Germbuster, aka the remix? You know,
you're making me sweat a little bit up here. You're making me sweat.
I just want to say thank you, my sister, for accepting the invite. I know we were trying to get this together some while before, and just being busy, which is a great thing, just can happen. So I'm so glad that you came on the show. I'm so glad that we were able to share your program, to share your energy, your beautiful spirit, and I hope that more people that view this video will become more participants in doing the dance, the book, and following for the next one.
Yes. What's to come? Yeah.
What's to come. So I just want to say thank you so much again for accepting the invitation to At the Round Table.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for allowing me to share my platform and what I do and why I do what I do. And thank you just so much. I really am appreciative for this opportunity.
All right, family. Well, you heard it first. A-Money.
Hey, I just appreciate you being on. Whenever you decide to step back out on that court, let me know.
Look, don't play. Don't play. Miss Germbuster's ready. It's different.
She said I'm gonna put on.
Then once I beat you, we're gonna go and wash our hands together. Okay.
Whoa. She said I'm gonna clean you on the court and I'm gonna clean your hands.
That's right. That's right. I'm gonna send you home with clean hands and a hurt heart. Sorry.
Ooh, I love it. I love that talking. I love it. I'm about to get you out there.
Hey, family, this might be an at the round table event when we get to be able to go back outside. We might have to have Miss Germbuster.
That's right.
And money on a one-on-one. First person 21. Let's do it.
That's right. Let's do it.
Man, this is going to be interesting.
Love it.
All right, family. Well, thank y'all for once again for joining us on At the Round Table podcast show. Again, if you get a chance, watch it again, share it, spread the word, because this is what we are talking about. It's the positive side of media and encouraging, uplifting each and every one. Y'all be blessed.
All right. Take care.
Bye.